The sky was quiet the night it arrived. Too quiet. Even the stars seemed to lean toward the horizon, as if listening to a distant sound only they could hear. And then, from the dark beyond the farthest constellations, a single luminous arc appeared, a thread of ice and fire tracing its way into the cradle of our solar system. The astronomers called it 3I, Atlas, an interstellar comet, an object not born from our sun, not shaped by our planets, not part of the familiar cosmic machinery. A visitor, a traveler, a messenger. Across ancient civilizations, the sudden arrival of such a wanderer was never treated as coincidence. It was always a sign, a shift, a reminder that the heavens are not static but alive, breathing, stirring, speaking. The Egyptians believed comets were the breath of Ra, sent when a great turning approached. The Chaldeans saw them as glyphs of transformation, tearing open the veil between the heavens and the deep. And the Gnostics knew something far more radical, that anything entering our world from outside the seven heavens was, by definition, a message from beyond the demiurge's design. So tonight, when the visitor slipped past the orbit of Neptune, silent, cold and luminous, its presence carried the same quiet gravity the ancients spoke of. It wasn't spectacle, it was signal. Something that had crossed the boundary of worlds to be seen, remembered, interpreted. A cosmic ripple touching the shores of consciousness. Not to warn us, but to awaken us. Every traveler comes with a story, and this comet is no different. Its icy core is older than Earth, older than our star, older than the mythologies that tried to explain its kind. It has wandered through dust clouds, magnetic storms, the dark between stars. It has witnessed suns being born and suns collapsing. And now, out of the countless trajectories it could have taken, it has chosen this one. A path that leads it directly into the human story. What does that mean? Why now? Why us? This is the question the ancients would have asked. This is the question every awakening soul feels rising inside them. This is the question you and I must follow. And so, our journey begins. A comet is not rare, but an interstellar comet, one that originates from beyond our solar system, is something different entirely. Astronomers can track ordinary comets back to familiar reservoirs. The Oort cloud, the Kuiper belt, the dust left over from our system's birth. But Atlas is something else. Its trajectory tells a truth that no one can deny. It does not belong to us. Its orbit is hyperbolic, meaning it is not bound to the gravity of the sun. It is passing through, simply visiting, simply observing. The ancients had no telescopes, yet they understood the sky with a depth modern science often forgets. They believed the cosmos was not a cold machine, but a living intelligence, layered with meaning. A comet entering from deep space wasn't just an object, it was an archetype, a metaphor, a myth unfolding in real time, a bridge between dimensions. Atlas reflects that mythology perfectly. Its very nature mirrors the idea of the soul entering the matrix, a traveler crossing from the fullness of the pleroma into the constriction of the seven heavens. It enters a bounded system without being bound by it. It moves through gravitational fields without surrendering to them. It comes, it illuminates, it disrupts, and then it continues on its way. What a powerful symbol for humanity. Because right now, millions of people feel like Atlas. Out of place, not from here. just passing through a world that often feels foreign to their inner truth. Many awakening souls feel the same hyperbolic arc in their life, an inner knowing that they originate from a higher realm, a deeper reality, a forgotten wholeness. Just like the comet, they are moving through a world shaped by forces that do not own them. Atlas becomes a mirror, a cosmic metaphor, an interstellar reminder. Your soul does not follow the orbit of the matrix. It came from beyond. When a luminous traveler appeared in ancient times, cultures across the world reacted with reverence. The Hopi spoke of the blue star Kachina, a celestial visitor whose arrival signified the great purification. The Zoroastrians believed in Tishtria, the radiant wanderer who battled the forces of darkness to restore cosmic order. The Greeks saw comets as the torches of the gods, carried across the heavens during times of transformation. But the Gnostics, they took it even further. In the secret book of John, the heavens are described as multi-layered veils, each governed by an archon. The only things that can cross these boundaries freely are the luminaries, divine messengers of the eons who bring memory, awareness, correction, and awakening. When something passes from the outer deep into the inner layers of the cosmos, it reflects a shift in consciousness, a realignment of cosmic currents, a moment when the boundaries between worlds grow thin. This is not superstition. This is archetypal truth. Every culture that watched the skies believed that heavenly visitors carried information, symbolic, spiritual, energetic information. They believed comets were omens not of doom, but of truth surfacing, of hidden things becoming visible, of illusions breaking down. Atlas fits this pattern perfectly, not as a disaster, not as a punishment, but as a sign that the fabric of human awareness is moving into a new phase, a moment the ancient texts would call an unveiling. And if you've been feeling something shifting within yourself lately, something awakening, dissolving, rearranging, you are not alone. The sky reflects the soul, and the visitor in the sky, that is the mirror. To the mystics of old, a comet was not just a chunk of ice, it was a living symbol, a glyph etched into the heavens by the source itself. Its nucleus represented the seed of nous, divine mind, pure awareness, undivided consciousness. The tail, a radiant stream flowing behind it, symbolized the river of Logos, the emanation of meaning, truth, and memory that pours from the eons into creation. Atlas, in its shimmering blue-white glow, becomes a perfect symbol of this. The core is compact, frozen memory. The tail is unfolding revelation. The journey is the message. In Gnostic terms, the comet embodies the paradox of existence, a spark of the infinite traveling through the finite system of the archons. It illuminates the sky not by its own power, but by the light of the sun, just as the human soul shines not from ego, but from remembering its origin, the pleroma, the realm of fullness. The ancients would say, the visitor teaches by passing, not by staying. Why? Because awakening is not about adding more. It's about remembering what was always there. Atlas streaking across the sky becomes a cosmic reminder that truth does not emerge from this world, it crosses into it. Truth is interstellar. Truth is primordial. Truth is older than the matrix. And when truth passes through your life, it leaves a tale of illumination, a tale of questions, a tale of awakening, just like Atlas. The comet's tail, long, winding, luminous, has drawn comparisons to the celestial serpent since humanity first looked upward. The Egyptians called it Mehen, the protective serpent of Ra. The Maya called it the sky serpent, a bridge between the earthly realm and the cosmic womb. The Gnostics saw it as the serpent of Sophia, the uncoiling wisdom returning to the world when it is ready. Atlas becomes a living manifestation of that myth, a serpent made of ice and light, slithering across the heavens, tracing a path through the fabric of space-time. This is not the serpent of deception. This is the serpent of awakening. In Gnostic lore, the serpent was never the enemy. It was the messenger of gnosis, the bringer of remembrance, the one who told humanity that the world they saw was not the whole of creation. The serpent was Sophia's whisper into human consciousness, telling them they were more than the bodies they wore. Atlas echoes that whisper. The ancients would say, when the serpent appears in the sky, wisdom prepares to return. And perhaps that is why this comet feels different, not threatening, not chaotic, but revelatory. Its long tail becomes a celestial script written across the heavens, a reminder that wisdom is not gone, only hidden, and the moment of its return is always announced by light. According to Gnostic cosmology, the cosmos we inhabit is not a single unified realm. It is a layered system, a staircase of vibration. 7 heavens, 7 veils, 7 rulers. Each layer a concentric ring of influence shaping perception, emotion, and reality. This is the architecture of the archons, the invisible framework that defines what you see, what you feel, and what you believe is possible. It is the matrix of form and limitation, the great enclosure built to convince the soul that this is all there is. But the ancients knew better. They saw the 7 heavens as a closed circuit, a repeating loop. Beautiful, intricate, intoxicating, but not the whole of creation. They believed that when something entered this system from the outer depths, from beyond the demiurgic walls, it was never random. It was a disruption of the enclosure, a ripple in the simulation, a sign that a higher truth was brushing against the edges of the cage. So when an object from outside this system crosses the threshold, the ancients believed something profound was happening. A rupture, a breach, a crossing of boundaries, like a spark slipping through the cracks of a sealed chamber. The Gnostic teachers called such a moment a luminary breach, an anomaly within the archonic design, a reminder that the walls of this world are permeable and that the rulers of this system are not as absolute as they pretend. It is the arrival of something ungoverned, unfiltered, unclaimed by the false god, not to conquer the system, not to overthrow it, but to remind the sleeping souls within it that there are realms beyond their forgetting. Atlas embodies this rupture perfectly. It is not of the 7 heavens. It did not originate in the blind creator's domain. It does not follow the clockwork cycles of this world or the astrological machinery of fate. It is free, purely, utterly, undeniably free. And in its freedom, it carries a simple and devastatingly powerful message. The system you live in is not the whole of creation. Your captivity is not the end of the story. The walls around you are thinner than you think. When something unbound enters a bound system, the system is forced to confront its limitations. Boundaries bend, assumptions tremble, worlds recalibrate. Even if only symbolically, the arrival of such a visitor is an announcement that the larger cosmos has touched the small one, and the small one has no power over it. This is why comets were feared by empires but revered by mystics. Empires fear disruption, because disruption loosens the chains. Mystics welcome revelation, because revelation dissolves the illusion. And every time a luminary breach occurs, a silent truth echoes through the heavens. Nothing the archons built can endure the light forever. In the Book of Enoch, the heavens are described as pathways for the luminaries, celestial beings or cosmic intelligences who traverse specific routes through the sky. But occasionally, a luminary appears on a path not assigned, a sign that something great is unfolding. Atlas fits this description almost perfectly. A traveler not assigned to our system, a luminary on a path uncharted, a visitor whose arrival coincides with a moment of planetary confusion, awakening, and transformation. The Watchers of Enoch, those ancient beings who descended to teach humanity, were said to return when humanity stood at a crossroads. Their return was not physical, but symbolic. It came through signs, patterns, synchronicities, and celestial movements that echoed the old stories. A star wandering from the deep, a traveler from the unknown, a luminary with no assigned circuit. To the ancient mind, this was not random, it was cosmic timing. And to anyone tuned into consciousness today, Atlas doesn't feel like a coincidence. It feels like an echo, a reminder, a symbolic return of the ancient watchers, not as beings descending to Earth, but as awakening descending into consciousness. Strange, isn't it? At the exact moment humanity enters a global psychological, spiritual, and emotional upheaval, at the exact moment millions begin questioning reality, the self, the matrix, and their soul's origin. A visitor from outside the system arrives. This is not causation. This is correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. Atlas reflects humanity's awakening. Just as the comet crosses the boundary of the seven heavens, more humans than ever are crossing the boundary of the old self. Just as the comet arrives from a realm beyond our familiar system, millions are remembering that their consciousness originates beyond this world. Just as the comet illuminates the sky, human awareness is illuminating the shadows of trauma, illusion, and spiritual amnesia. Atlas becomes a cosmic metaphor for the collective journey. The inner traveler mirrors the outer traveler. The awakening soul mirrors the awakening sky. And if you are feeling called, stretched, expanded, destabilized, or deeply alive lately, it is because you too are moving through a hyperbolic arc of transformation. You too are leaving old orbits. Every interstellar visitor affects the gravitational fields of the solar system, not dramatically, not cataclysmically, but subtly. It shifts trajectories, it alters timing, it influences resonance. Comets carry both mass and meaning, and their passage adjusts the delicate clockwork of the heavens. Consciousness works the same way. When something from outside your habitual patterns, an insight, a memory, an awakening, enters your life, it shifts your trajectory. It changes your inner orbit. It bends the path you were taking. The ancients believed that comets initiated timeline corrections, moments when fate realigned, when destiny reoriented, when collective energy reconfigured itself, not through magic, but through resonance. Atlas, passing through the solar system, becomes a symbol of the shifts happening within humanity. Old patterns collapsing, new paradigms forming, hidden truths resurfacing, collective karma dissolving. Spiritual timelines converging. It is not a threat. It is an adjustment, a cosmic realignment, a reminder that the universe is not static but responsive, alive, aware, intentional. Across cultures, comets symbolize the same thing again and again: purification, revelation, renewal, awakening, endings that lead to beginnings. The ancients didn't see them as cosmic accidents. They saw them as cosmic catalysts, forces that rearranged inner and outer worlds simultaneously. A comet streaking across the sky was a mirror, a ritual, a moment when heaven and consciousness moved in tandem. In Hindu cosmology, comets were believed to cleanse the psychic atmosphere of the world, burning through stagnant energies, dissolving old karmic patterns, and making space for the next cycle of awakening. In Tibetan teachings, they signaled a thinning of the veils between the material and subtle realms, moments when dreams sharpened, intuition intensified, and the invisible world came closer to the visible one. In Greek philosophy, they symbolized the descent of divine mind into the world of matter, the moment when nous, the higher intelligence, reached down and touched the earthly plane to correct its course. And in the Gnostic texts, comets were signs that the eons were stirring, that the false heavens were cracking, that the architect's enclosure was weakening, and that the soul was beginning to remember its true home. None of these are doomsday interpretations. They are initiatory interpretations. To the unawakened, a comet is a disturbance. To the awakened, it is a signal. To the fearful mind, it is chaos. To the inner eye, it is communication. A comet becomes a teacher, a reminder that the universe is not static but alive, forever breathing, cycling, dissolving, rebirthing. It reminds us that everything changes, that illusions fade, that consciousness evolves, that the soul returns to its origin again and again. But there is one more layer, one modern mystics are rediscovering: comets and the third eye. When a luminous visitor tears across the heavens, ancient cultures believed the same tearing happens in the mind. A crack in the sky becomes a crack in perception. A rift in the heavens becomes a rift in the veil over the inner sight. The third eye, Ajna, the seat of inner vision, responds to signs, symbols, and cosmic rhythms. Celestial anomalies have always coincided with intensified intuition, heightened synchronicities, vivid dreams, spontaneous insights, a pull toward inner knowing rather than external noise. Because the third eye awakens when the world is shaken out of its sleep, and nothing shakes a system, outer or inner, quite like the arrival of a celestial traveler from outside it. As Atlas crosses into our skies, many are already reporting strange dreams, surges of insight, moments of déjà vu, emotional releases, bursts of clarity, intuitive messages coming out of nowhere. These aren't coincidences, they're correspondences. The sky opens, so the mind opens. A luminary passes, so the inner light stirs. A visitor arrives, so awareness awakens. Atlas becomes an ancient symbol, returning in a modern age. A celestial glyph with a silent message written in light. The veil is thinning. Look with the eye behind your eyes. Pay attention. So what does it mean that Atlas has entered our skies now, at this exact moment in history? It means that the universe is speaking in symbols again. It means that consciousness is rearranging itself. It means that the human story is moving into a new chapter, one of remembrance, awakening, and the end of spiritual amnesia. But more importantly, it means you are waking up. Just like the comet, you are crossing boundaries. Just like the comet, you are shedding old debris. Just like the comet, you are illuminating everything around you. Atlas comes as a reminder. You did not originate in this world. You entered it from a higher realm. You are a visitor, a traveler, a messenger of the pleroma. And the moment you remember this, your entire life begins to realign. If this message speaks to you, share this video with someone who is awakening. And if you feel called to go deeper into the forgotten cosmology of the eons, the pleroma, and the hidden gospels, explore my novels and audiobooks in the description below. Remember, you are the traveler, you are the light, you are the prophecy.